Well, it's not surprising. One of the things I've been thinking about is the idea of how diverse not only the readers but also the authors are here on Book Talk. One of the things that I have come to understand and realize is just how different our goals and kind of philosophies are when it comes to writing. And so, like, for me, one of the things that I was thinking about is, there's a lot of authors on here that have published an incredibly large amount of books, 10, 15 books. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. And so I had to kind of like have an epiphany and understand that for many of them, writing and putting their thoughts and just pouring themselves into the page and into these worlds that they build is a lot like going to the gym. They show up every day, they're consistent. That's part of just who they are. Versus for myself, I'm kind of radically different in regards that I have a leadership mission and a major goal when it comes. I would rather have a best-selling series at the most at this point rather than have a huge range of books. And maybe that'll change with time, but at this point, I even have a mission statement when it comes to Sacred Grounds. My mission statement is Sacred Grounds is a parable for the pluralist world, using story to bring healing and service. And that is something that I truly believe in, right? Because I want to see some of the proceeds, and I have a part of every book sale, go directly to mental health care for other people. And that's really important to me. So for me, instead of having a huge range, it's a lot more important to just focus on the mission at hand as something that is close to my heart and that I care about. Now, that being said, there's nothing inherently wrong with either perspective if you just enjoy writing. But like I said, I accidentally became a writer. I never even planned to be a writer. I have other goals and aspirations, and at this point it's just to help as many people and have a way for what we call the groundlings, right? The original Sacred Grounds supporters. If you buy the book, if you share the book, if you have anything good to say about the book, then you are a groundling as far as I'm concerned. Where does that word come from? It comes from the Shakespearean term. Early, when there would be stage and theater, the groundlings were the people that were on the ground, not in the elevated seats. They were closest to the stage, and they were the cool kids. They were a lot like the mob, not the mob, mosh pit. See, I have to do these in one take, so I don't always speak clearly. They're like the mosh pit, but they would set the tone. They were the most excited. They'd laugh, they'd cry, they would change the atmosphere. And that's something that I think is a really cool way to partner with the reader and to further the goal. So I call Operation Sacred Grounds kind of the overarching aspect, but the idea of having an entire foundation run by book sales and through selling merchandise and those are things that will all fund and be funneled right back into the purpose, and that really matters a lot to me. So every time I post, even if it only gets a few likes or whatever, it's important to share and to show up and engage with the people that are willing to do that. And so I think a lot of it, and every time when you see a new video and you're like, man, he just posts all the time. For me, it's a lot like that drip of water that like comes off in a cave and it just slowly gets through a stone. Have you ever seen like how stones are completely reshaped because of the way that the water, every post is a drop as far as I'm concerned about furthering the mission of Sacred Grounds. Now, the algorithm is anything but solid and consistent. It's more like trying to hit some gelatinous moving item at freeway speed, but I'll keep dripping. I'll keep adding content and just trying to have variety and just show the humanity and show that I'm a real person. I'm as transparent as I know how to be on here, and I just absolutely love and pray for and adore all of you. Thank you.